Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tidbits of Truth. I am your co host, Samantha White,
And I'm Hope Anderson.
and today we are going to be talking about social media. So, if you listen to our episode, it's been a couple weeks. It's been like kind of crazy for both of us right now. Schedules are crazy.
You know
So,
how it is.
yeah, so we haven't gotten to record in a little bit just because schedules haven't lined up. But if you listen to our episode on Catherine Gladder's podcast, Gladder to Hear That, she asked us about moving around and how that looked for us and what we recommend and advice and things like that. But we kind of drifted and ended the episode talking a lot about community and a little bit about social media. So we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that today and kind of expand on that and not go over the exact same things, but kind of delve deeper into certain things
hmm
specifically about social media. So that's what we're here to talk about today. Yeah.
First, I need to know, since last time we talked with Catherine, you said you had this big old surprise for your husband for his birthday.
Well, small surprise,
Was
but I was
was he
excited about it.
surprised?
He was.
Okay.
He I think he felt kind of bad because he was like, "Oh, I didn't do this much for your birthday." And I was like, "That just means I'm winning." So
You're like next year, but
But yeah, he was very happy. I asked him like 5 times to make sure he was happy about it, and
oh.
he was. And he loved his cake, and yeah, it was
What
just
kind
a
of cake
good
was it
day.
again?
I made him like a chocolate on chocolate cake. I
Oh
had
yeah.
to look up multiple like Death by Chocolate cakes. Some of them were kind of like they only used cocoa powder, and I'm
Mm.
like, that is not Death by Chocolate. I'm sorry. That's like kind of basic, a little bit boring. Like
You're like, that's kind of like tipsy on chocolate, you know?
that's kind of yeah. That's kind of
That's not.
like ooh, tastes like chocolate. That's not Death by Chocolate. So I found it has to at least have two different kinds of chocolate, cocoa powder and actual chocolate for it to
Yeah, like when
be
I think of Death by Chocolate, I think of like triple layer mud pie or like
yeah.
three different kinds of chocolate, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I got that done. It was really good. Huge cake. Huge. But yeah.
Did your sister help you guys eat it?
We gave her a bite. Andrew got so mad because so she does not eat very much,
Mm.
and when she does eat, it's typically not good for you food. So we gave her a slice of cake, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you!" And then she ate half of it, and then left the rest of it covered in plastic wrap on top of the microwave. And Andrew one day was like, "She's not eating her cake," and he went and looked at it and had mold on it, and he was pissed. He was so mad.
I'm
So.
surprised the cats didn't try to eat it.
I don't
Because
know,
our
maybe they
cats
couldn't
would have
smell
gotten
it.
into that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my
But yeah,
goodness.
it went well. You asked me this as an icebreaker, but it doesn't really give you anything to say.
No, but I was just about to say, can we talk about for 2 seconds? Because I was thinking about baking now that you said the cake. Like, I make these buckwheat s'mores bars. They're
Mm.
so good. And buckwheat is naturally gluten free. So if you have any people in your life who are like, I'm gluten free, like it's great. And they taste super good. And buckwheat also just has like some protein in it too, which is
Hmm.
nice. And it doesn't taste it tastes a lot better when it's baked into like a sweet thing because it has the sugar, it balances out some of the it's kind of an acquired taste if you don't have some sugar in it. But I usually make it in this darker pan. And recently we've been like not using the darker pans unless we have like parchment paper or something on it because we're trying to like go non-toxic and like one of the goals for this year is to get better pans. But so I was like, oh, okay, well, no problem. I'll just use these glass pans that we have. Okay, it takes like an hour and a half to cook these bars in this glass pan. It's only like this thick. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what in the world? Like you literally cook it for 30 minutes and you check it and I'm like, it's raw.
Huh.
Like I don't understand it. It's super frustrating. Normally it takes like 45 minutes to bake or maybe 30 minutes in the normal pan.
Yeah.
And then in this glass pan, it takes like an hour and a half.
Do
Like
you
for
need to
real.
increase the temperature?
I don't know. Like I've kind of tried that. It just like it's like weird where I'm just like, "Oh, let me just check it." And then like it's literally raw. Like it's
Yeah,
not cooked.
I would do research on the difference between the two because I'm trying to think because I make like a
Yeah.
carnivore egg. We call it beef egg. It's just like beef and scrambled eggs and you bake it and I do that in glass, and that's never a problem. That cooks pretty quickly, but it's also, I mean, eggs is not that hard to cook. But there's
Yeah,
probably a
I know there's
difference
like
in
a,
like temperature and stuff that you gotta adjust for.
I mean, probably, but like I've cooked like when I used to cook box cakes all the time, like you would use the glass pans and it didn't take astronomically long to cook your cake.
Hmm.
So I don't know why that is, but yeah, I need to figure that out or do some research or invest in better pans.
That
So
is odd. That is odd for it to take that long.
yeah, and like just pivoting a little bit, it's starting to be summer.
Hmm.
So super exciting for us because like all the trees are blooming and we have our porch set up now. So we can
That
sit
is
outside.
nice.
But yeah, I'm
Excellent.
sure like it's been like nice for you for a while because you're further south. But
Yeah, it recently started raining the last few days, but
mm,
it's essentially summer. Anyway,
yes.
social media.
Hmm.
Hope, what are your thoughts just off the bat? What do you use it for?
I use it to keep up with people and like people that I don't really talk to as much on a regular basis. Like it's nice to like people post big things on their social media usually. Like I'm not, no offense if you do this, but like I am not like incredibly big on the today we went to Costco and we bought hot dogs
Mm.
and can we just talk about how the checkout line was super long today? And I'm like, I don't feel like that needs to be a Facebook post, but okay.
Status
Like,
update. I'm
that
feeling
kind of thing. Like,
angry.
and like if you do that, like you do you. But like
Hmm.
I just can't get into that. But like people post big things on there like, oh, we're having a baby or we got engaged or like these are our wedding photos. And I really like being able to keep up with people in that way. Like yesterday, for instance, with Mother's Days, and you go on Facebook and see like some couple people posted pregnancy announcements. And, like Brett Cooper is pregnant apparently, which is super cute. And like a bunch of other people posted that they were pregnant and then or like engaged or whatever, or just cute pictures of their kids or whatever.
Hmm.
So I'm like, like that's cool. And I like to like and I told Eric like because we were watching an older movie and the mom was like, maybe you should tell your parents that we had a second child. And he was like, the announcements in the newspaper, they can just read it like everybody else. And I was like, that's how they used to do it. They used like whenever people got married, people died, or they had a baby, they would just post it in the newspaper. And I kind of feel like social media is sort of like our digital newspaper now. People
Yeah.
just post their like big, a lot of people post at least their big updates, like if not anything else, like on their social media wall, and then you get to see like, oh, they got married, oh, they got engaged, or oh, they had a baby, or they have another baby, or they moved, or and then that's kind of cool to see that. I guess I don't know. Do you use it kind of for that or?
So I think I can say that I used to. That used to be what I would say I use it for. Like, oh, I keep up with so and so. Like, there's people from, certain points of my life where, we don't keep up at all anymore, but we still have each other on social media. And so you kind of feel like you're still in touch that way.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like that's not the case for me anymore, at least. Like, when I go on Instagram, like my time on social media has been cut down a lot because I've been working more and just preoccupied with other things.
Mm.
But I feel like when I use it, I'm mostly using it. My primary excuse that I say that I have for using it now has mostly to do with learning. So I follow like a lot of like we talked about. It just shows I'm sitting way lower than you are in this.
Oh, I adjusted my camera.
Okay. Like uh like I follow a lot of carnivores. I follow a lot of
Mm.
femininity accounts or Christian
Yeah, like
accounts or
influencers.
yeah, like influencers that I like that I feel like I can learn something from. And I follow a couple of accounts that like are specifically like, did you know that orange juice is a superfood? And I don't really believe everything that they say. Like they posted one recently that was like, did you know sugar is actually like good for you? And I'm like, okay, what's wrong with you? So, you take these with a grain of salt, of course, but I'd say that's mostly why I use it, and that's how I got into carnivore. That's how I like in our non-toxic little episode about when I talked about, seed oils, that little bit about cottonseed oil being used as like like a sterilizer essentially for
Mm-hmm.
men. That was something I learned specifically from one of like the influencers that I
Mm-hmm.
that I follow. And I fact checked it outside of it,
Yeah.
but that's what I think I can say I mostly use it for. I feel like, at least in my feed, and this I know this goes for other people too, maybe not you, but for me, my feed is almost overwhelmed by influencers and
Yeah,
meme
it's starting to
accounts.
be more of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I honestly couldn't tell you what's going on in most people's lives right now.
Yeah.
Because
I
you
don't know. I
also
wonder.
get updates so fast. There's so many
Yeah.
content being posted. Even if my friends do post things, I may not see it.
I know sometimes I like see a post from like days ago and I'm like, how come I just saw this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it is starting to be more like it used to be, I think, when I first got on social media, it was more like all of your friends' stuff. And that was kind of cool. But now it's kind of like shifted to be more like, I mean, I do follow these influencers, right? So it's I see their content a lot and they post a lot and their algorithm probably pushes their stuff more because they're more popular. But at least like when there's a, I feel like the algorithm knows like when there's like a big, like somebody's posting that they're pregnant or like posting that they're getting married or something or big life update, whatever. Like I feel like because that usually like pops up to the top of my feed when I log on to Instagram. It's like the instant thing that you see.
Oh
And
yeah.
I feel like it knows somehow like the
You
type
can
of
tell too
content.
when you look at people's profiles, like the posts that have the most engagement, the most likes, whatever, are the big ones like
Yeah.
wedding or like pregnancy or engagement, whatever.
Hmm.
So there's something. Either it's people are reacting and the algorithm picks up on that more, or
Hmm.
they, AI recognizes the photos or recognizes
The
the
content, yeah.
caption and
Hmm.
promotes it more. Yeah,
Yeah. And the but also ads, like way more ads than
that's
there
true.
used to be. And I get that that's how they make their money. Like we are their product, right? Technically, like they sell us to and like our attention
Our attention,
to
yeah.
brands and such. So I understand that that's how they make money, but it is also kind of annoying. Like
Hmm.
sometimes every now and then I'm like, that's actually kind of nice that this has been tailored to me. But like you can have a conversation with someone like this wasn't even like when you and I were rooming together. Like you came into my room one time and you were like, "Oh, look at this sugar waxing thing.
Hmm.
Like I really want to try it. Can I try it on you?" And I was like, "No." And I didn't look it up. I had never even heard of it. I never Googled it on my phone or my computer. All I did was talk to you about it for 5 minutes. And the next day I got an ad for it on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, that's just creepy, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's definitely a big problem of our devices listening to us.
And they say they're not. And they're like, you can just tell it not to listen. And like, well, how do I tell it to listen again? Like, you just tell it to. Like, so it's listening.
Right. Yeah.
Because
It's
it has to
bad.
listen to turn back on.
And I agree with what you said. Like sometimes it's nice. I'm like, oh, you know what? I do
Hmm.
really like this dress, or I do really, like
Like, I
I'm
do
getting
really
a
need
lot
this
of beef
thing.
tallow, like soaps and
Mm.
like skincare stuff now, and just like toxic free like sunscreen, like stuff like that, or toxic free self tanner. Like I'm getting a lot of that, which
Yeah, same.
is technically interesting to me, but I've already kind of picked like I've got my stuff that I'm going to do right. Like I'm not interested in buying right now, basically.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
One
that's
time, I literally Googled, like, cute swimsuit that looks like this because I wanted the ads. I was like,
mm,
I want a cute ad that, like, is what I'm looking for a swimsuit. That's the only time I've ever done that. But
let them find me.
I was like, please come to me. I'm in the market. But then, like, it just never, for some reason, at that time, it didn't happen until like a week later. And
Mm,
I was like, so it takes a while sometimes.
gotcha.
But the sugar waxing, that was fast.
That is weird. Maybe I don't know. I would say maybe because it did happen so fast, maybe it was just making the rounds because it found its way to me somehow initially. So
Mm,
it's definitely weird, suspicious timing, but
mm,
maybe, but I don't know. But you see all the memes of people being like whispering things to their phones. And there's
mm.
that couple that did that experiment where they never had a cat, they never talked about having a cat, but they just started talking about cats around their phones, and they started getting ads for cats, like
Yeah.
cat food and stuff. So that's
So it's
definitely
like at
a
that point,
thing.
if they're listening to that, what else are they listening to?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I've noted my algorithm is very, very tailored to my political views, my beliefs, my
That
like conspiracy theories, and I'm talking like deep conspiracy theories. And I'm like, it's odd that they're even pushing that stuff to me, so it's because it's so politically incorrect.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's always interesting. But as far as like community goes, I was thinking about this. Like, we were talking about posting big life events. I
Mhm.
feel less and less inclined to post big life events. Like, I was thinking, like, for Mother's Day, I didn't post my mom because my mom's not on social media. If I
Yeah.
were to post something, it would purely be, look at me, look at how, like, I'm such a good daughter for, like,
Yeah.
posting my mom. And, like,
Yeah.
I say I'm doing it to prop up my mom and, like, celebrate her, but is it really? She doesn't care. I really don't post, like, for like growing up it was such a thing like posting birthdays and like happy birthday to so so like, and I still get
Yeah.
like you and my sister-in-law I think still post sometimes like for my birthday, but I really don't do that unless it's like Andrew or a sibling, I think
Mm.
pretty much. And I only
Yeah.
do
I
it for
do it for
Andrew because
like,
he's like my husband, but he's not
yeah.
on social media either.
I do it for like close friends and yeah, my husband.
Yeah.
So,
And like for our 1 year anniversary just happened, and we were kind of going back and forth, or I didn't know if I even wanted to post, you
mm.
know, because I was like, what, like, why do I need to? Like, we had a great time. Why do I need to, like, Andrew's not on social media. It would, again, just be a way to be like, look at me, we just had our anniversary. Like, congratulate us, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I think some people who are like went to your wedding and like don't get to talk to you that much, maybe they'd be like, "Oh, that's so, oh yeah, they got married a year ago. Wow, that's so cool." Like people like kind of like to remember that stuff.
that's true.
And like me personally, like specifically Instagram because they have the cute filters.
Hmm.
Like I really like to be able to scroll back through my Instagram and be like, "Oh, I remember that time of my life and I remember that." It's like kind of like a digital like journal kind of thing. And it's probably way better spots for me to put that stuff. But
No, I
I don't
had
know.
that too for a long, I was like, I post on my Instagram for me. And
Yeah, it's
I
for me
think I
mostly.
think that was both true and false. Um, and now I think like it's a little bit true because I still kind of every now and then I think about like, oh, my digital, it's like a digital scrapbook. But I also just I care less now. Like I don't want to post on Instagram as much now. I almost don't want people to know what I'm up to,
Yeah.
or I want to not want that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I do want to like record, like I try to take more photos and whatever. But it is such a like there's people have talked about how there's it's an issue with Instagram being like only the polished parts of life.
Hmm.
And I don't know, that's just kind of not, I guess not, I don't want to say not what I want, because if it's for me and I want to remember the good times, like that's true. But like for example, the stressing out, like I don't know, a lot of girls do this where you're like, oh, this photo, like I have a double chin, or this photo I look a little fat, or like my face looks weird. Like that pops up too, and then you end up just never posting. Or I do at least.
Hmm. It's like
But
you kind of really have to examine like, why am I doing this?
yeah.
Why am I posting this? Am I just posting this because I want people to look at me and go, "Oh my gosh, yay!"
Yeah.
or whatever? But like when you're saying the polished parts, like that is like last September, I posted on Facebook about our infertility journey, and like that, I posted that because I kind of wanted people to, like to remind people, it's like life doesn't always, it's not always amazing.
Yeah.
And I think like some people though have started to post more about it used to be just the highlights, but
Mhm.
now it is like some people have started to post these like, this is a terrible time of my life and like I'm still going through this awful time and something something,
Yeah.
or they'll post after they've gotten through it.
Mhm.
So like not a lot of posts of like we're still in the middle of this, to be honest. It's more of like we were in this terrible spot but now we're out of it, you know.
Right.
But they'll post it and I'm like, why? I mean, some of it's like, oh, that's really inspiring, that's super cool, like glad you shared that. And some of it you can tell that some people do it just because they want the clicks and they want the sympathy and the likes and the comments and such like that. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna post this even though we're still in the middle of it and like there's no like sunny side yet. Like
Mhm.
we're gonna post this anyway. Just to
Yeah.
like, and my goal with it was to, because I went back and forth. And like my goal with it was to find other people who were also going through it so we could connect and that they didn't feel like they were alone.
Hmm.
And then because it's a very like isolating situation, and I also wanted to maybe find people who used to have like who went through it in the past and had gotten through it, that I would have never they would have never shared their story with me had I not shared. And I did get that a lot of that. Like I got a lot of like DMs from people who were like, "Oh, I struggled too." Like so I know how it feels. And I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's awesome to be able to connect with these people." So that was like the goal. I did also get a lot of unsolicited advice. But like I kind of expected that that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the way I would like to use the internet from now on, because like I was saying, I'm feeling less and less inclined to post things. Like I have like the friends that I care about, like we can text each other and like reach
Yeah,
out and connect and all this stuff.
that's fair.
And like at least in this point, and maybe that'll change in a couple months, but at least right now, like I don't care to post. Like the only reason I posted our anniversary is because Andrew said that he wanted people to know, which is fine, and so I did.
Yeah, and it's
But
cute.
yeah, it's cute. But something that I do want first of all, there's like this issue with like the dead internet theory where there comes a point where there's so many bots and so many like fake engagements that it's not even like you're talking to real people anymore or engaging with real people anymore.
Mm,
And Elon Musk recently blocked India from being monetized on Twitter because they had like huge like engagement farming. There's a big issue with them. They
mm,
all just engaged with each other, so they were gaming the system and earning money that they really didn't earn.
mm.
Um, so it's like you're sometimes the stuff that you're engaging with isn't even like genuinely the best, stuff or the most authentic stuff. And then there's AI now. I feel like with AI,
Yeah,
that's like been the next level of me being like, okay, I'm not interested.
I
Because
know.
there are a lot of things that are like obviously AI, but first of all, they fool some people. Someone I know posted an AI photo like this is heartbreaking, and I was like, that's AI. Like, are you serious?
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Well, the thing is, it's getting so good now. Andrew showed me a photo like that I think one of his friends sent him of like a girl, and he was like, "Can you tell that this is AI?" And I'm like, I don't know if I would have. There are a lot of photos that you just scroll by. Do
Hmm.
you know how many photos you probably scroll by that are AI that you just don't know because you don't care to look close enough?
That's a good point.
Probably a lot.
Yeah,
Plus, and then there's the whole like filtering thing. Like that's been an issue for a long time is like real people filtering their appearance and like Facetune and all that.
yeah.
So what I would like to use the social media for more now is to cultivate community
Mm,
offline. Like there's this guy in our church group right now who said he was going to host like a karaoke night, and Andrew mixed up the nights, and so we went to this like hole in the wall bar expecting to do karaoke with our church group, and we show up and there's line dancing. And I love to dance. We talked about it before, like we love swing dancing, and like line dancing is not the same as swing dancing, but it's similar-ish
It's
that
still
it's
dancing.
easy. Yeah, dancing. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I was just thinking earlier today how much I miss dancing. I want to dance." And so I jump in and I'm like doing all the like trying to figure out the moves, and I realize I'm so rusty. And because there was like a lady there with the speaker like telling you what to do. And we do the one song, and I come in, and Andrew's like, "Sam, I just want to go. I'm not in the mood to for line dancing." And so I'm in a bad mood. But anyway, so we leave, and I find their page on Facebook, and it barely gets any engagement. But they keep it
Mm,
pretty updated with like what they're doing.
hmm.
So even if you don't engage with it, you can still know what they're doing. And like, there's no website. They're barely even on like Google Maps. So I don't know how we would have found out about them if this guy
Yeah.
didn't like tell us about him. But things like that is like what I would like to use social media for is finding these in-person events to
Hmm.
go to. And even if they don't get that much engagement because people are just checking it, like keep posting them so that we can find them and we can go do these
Yeah.
things.
Hmm.
Because it's hard. It's hard finding groups these, especially as like adults. Like when you're a kid, you get put in like either daycare and those are your friends, or you join a soccer team and you make friends there, or like whatever, and you make friends just because you're there. But
Yeah.
when you're adult, it's a lot harder because you have to put yourself in these programs or put
Yes.
yourself in these situations. And it can be
Hmm.
hard to find things to do. So that's what I would
Hmm.
personally like to see more of on social media. I want to see people using less social media for doom scrolling and using it more for actually meeting up in person and like doing things in person.
Yeah, yeah, because social media is also the algorithm is designed and the apps are designed to keep you on the app.
Oh yeah.
So it's very dopamine like hitting, like addictive. Like it's that way on purpose. It's designed to be that way. Like the push notifications and the, oh, you just got a like, or you just somebody commented on your photo, or stuff like that is designed to like get you to go back into the app and use it more. So I turned off all my notifications for social media. I don't get social media notifications, so I only see those notifications if I log into Instagram or Facebook. And sometimes I take a break from it and I don't go on it very often. But yeah, those social events are super fun to find, and you're right, like sometimes you wouldn't find them otherwise, and they're like more localized, especially if you join a group that's
Yeah.
local to your area. You can find these little local meetups that you wouldn't have normally found.
Mhm.
I also feel like it can be a platform for like sharing the gospel or sharing truth with like what you believe. Like that's why I
Mhm.
post some of my blog posts on Facebook, and such like that. Because or like, oh, like let me do a post about why I left my full-time job to work part-time, and like it's kind of like a thing that not very many people do, and this is why we did it, and like I posted that on LinkedIn. I feel like it's a way to like, it can be a way to inspire people and hopefully like move people in the right direction, like either towards Christ or towards like truth thinking.
Mhm.
So that I think that's a decent use for it as well. I hardly ever post, so I mostly just stalk people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely can agree with that, and that kind of goes into the whole influencer thing a little
Hmm.
bit, because there are like Christian influencers, but there are also
There are,
just
yeah.
like there's still a lot of weird stuff
Yeah.
on there. Like I don't remember if I shared this on the podcast or with you privately, but there was a lady who was getting a lot of hate because she bought cranberry juice and then like sprinkled
Oh
like
yeah.
multiple jugs of it outside her home and said she was anointing her home with like the blood of Christ. And everyone was like, "Yeah, there's like no biblical basis for this whatsoever. Like that's really weird what you just did." And she like had to defend. I'm of the opinion that she shouldn't have done that. I think it's weird.
It is a little
Um,
strange.
yeah. And but she was like was fighting for her life in those comments. But that's like kind of another thing I was thinking about. Oh, and you were mentioning like getting rid of notifications. I started to hate Snapchat. I literally only talked to like two people on there, like you and one other friend. I hated getting like on this day this many years ago or check out so and so just posted. I started to despise that because I have my Instagram notifications on, but I think that's the only social media that I have. Like I don't have the Facebook app, I don't have the X
Hmm.
app. If I look at those, I go on like a browser page and look at
Hmm.
them. But I despised Snapchat, so I muted the notifications. I like forgot about it. I realized this morning I haven't been on Snapchat in probably a couple months now. Like there's probably weeks old notifications from you and one other person. The only thing I like it for is like, oh yeah, I have like memories in there. Because
Hmm.
that's almost more of a digital scrapbook than
Yeah.
Instagram is. So I need to figure out how to like export all of that and get it onto my
Facebook does that too with like Messenger. It'll
yeah.
pop up with like this chat you sent this picture on this day, and
Mhm.
I was scrolling through some of our old chats on Facebook Messenger because I was trying to find a specific chat,
Mhm.
about like when I met my husband.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I remember this, or I remember that. Like, oh yeah, I remember when we did that, or this conversation, or like there's a lot of videos of your cat that I sent to you when
Mhm.
you weren't home, and then you sent me videos of my cat, and I was like, I don't know. It was just, I'm like, oh, I remember all that. That's really cool to like be able to
Yeah.
scroll back and look at that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it's just, it's different than when you're saying like your mom doesn't care much about social media. Like, my mom doesn't either, really.
Mhm.
Like, I'm sure she's not offended that I didn't post on social media for Mother's Day,
Mhm.
or like birthdays or anything like that. It's just like it, but like me, like when we got married and we'd been married for a few months, and I was like, I told my husband, like, you never post on social media ever. And he was like, yeah, there's just like no point to it. And I'm like, why wouldn't you? Like, he's like, well, nothing interesting has like happened to me to like post. And I was like, you met your wife, you got engaged, you got married. Excuse me? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I suppose. He's like, do you like want me to post that? I'm like, yeah, because it makes me feel like you're proud of me.
Yeah.
And so like I like really wanted him to post about it just because like that's our generation.
Hmm.
And I'm like, this is how you like show that you're proud of something,
Well,
like
there is a
kind of
certain amount
in
of
this
like,
culture.
yeah, like our society has changed a little bit in that, where
Hmm.
like I wanted Andrew to post me too, and like he has
He
mostly
is cute.
stayed
He
off.
posts like your birthday and your anniversary and stuff. He's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, and that's like I don't think there's like National Girlfriend Day, and I was like, I can't believe you didn't post me for National Girlfriend Day, and I think like he did like a day or two later, like oh late, what or like whatever. So he posted at
Hmm.
some point something. I was like, you do it if you want. Like I didn't tell him to, I don't think,
Mm.
but I like made a whole big deal about it.
Which basically means do it.
Yeah, exactly. But it is just kind of like if you're not Facebook official, then like you're almost hiding your relationship.
Hmm.
You know, and that's face I use Facebook official not like literally, but as in like if you're not
Yeah.
posting on social media about it, then are you really even like are you like ashamed of the person? Are you trying to keep it a secret? Like what's going on? But back to like what I was saying about like the with the lady sprinkling the juice and that whole
Yeah.
controversy. Like that is the amount of fights that you get in on social like people get so invested in like the littlest things that if like something doesn't like perfectly align with what they believe. Some people just don't possess the ability to, and maybe it's like sometimes every now and then I'll see something that rubs me the wrong way in particular, and I feel like I have to say something about it. But so maybe that's just everyone just every now and then sees something. But there are some things that it's like,
Hmm.
do you just like fighting and
I
arguing?
know,
Like
right?
there was one. This was one that I did choose to get involved where this lady was making a whole. I may have sent it to you, but she was making a whole compilation of like women's experiences in the hospital when they're
Yeah.
having kids. Yeah, and someone left a comment being like, "Yeah, if XYZ happened to me, someone would be getting kicked in the face." And
Yeah.
someone replied and was like, "There's never an excuse to abuse healthcare workers." And I was like, "Did you like watch the posts? Like some of these women were actually like being assaulted, and like
Yeah.
this is when that happens, like that's called self-defense." And
That's
she
not okay.
kept
Yeah.
doubling down on like that doesn't mean like some of these people like are working hard and blah blah like coming up with every excuse. I'm like, okay, then great. Then they're not going to be the ones kicked in the face. Like you're
Hmm.
not, your brain isn't working.
Like, you didn't say you were going to just kick anybody randomly in the face. Like,
Yeah,
she just said, if you decided to behave in this atrocious way, then you will get kicked in the face.
yes,
Not, no matter what, whichever doctor I have when I give birth, you're getting kicked in the face.
yeah. It doesn't. Yeah, if you continue to like some people are like, oh, I don't want you doing like cervical checks or whatever because I think it can introduce like bacteria. So
Hmm.
but if they just ignore you and shove their hand up there, that's a good time for you to get kicked in the face. Like there is
Yeah.
that like consent in a medical field is extremely important. Like you should listen to your doctors, but at the end of the day, like you're
You
the one
have,
who
yeah,
gets to decide what happens with your body.
you have personal choice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Informed consent.
Exactly. So that sort of thing is like that like the fights that I'll see people and people sometimes like that lady, it's almost like they purposefully misinterpret or misunderstand
Yeah.
some things. It's like I don't
Just so they can
understand
fight.
how, yeah, just so they can fight or just so they can virtue signal about how they're not one of those or like whatever. But
Like,
yeah,
I
so that's
hardly
its own
ever
problem.
comment on that stuff because, like, whenever I do comment on something, I usually get this, like, awful feeling in my gut of, like, oh, someone's gonna argue with me now, and then I have to argue back with them, and like, you get, like, I get, like, super paranoid and super, like, nervous, so I just stop
Hmm.
doing it. I'm like, I can't handle it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to engage in debates with people online because people are nasty online. People are not civil and respectful online because they can hide behind their username and their screens and they never have to talk to you in person. So I'm like, I'm more than happy to like have a nice friendly debate with someone in person, but I'm not going I don't I hardly like pretty much never comment
Yeah.
on posts anymore
Yeah.
because I don't want the I don't like the online battles. I just think they're usually really childish and stupid.
Yeah.
So, and no one ever gets convinced.
It's rare. So I did recently have an experience, and we should probably wrap up soon. But I
Hmm.
recently, like I said, Andrew was getting on Twitter, so I following my husband's lead, and so I was on Twitter just also so I could stalk him. And there was something about like the transgender issue, and I don't remember all the details, but basically someone was like, "Well, what about intersex people?" And I was like, "That is like the excuse. That's the same excuse that people have been using. Like, you don't take the exception to the rule and try to apply it to the whole rule."
Hmm.
Like, I didn't even go into all the details about the whole intersex thing, but I was like, "You're." Again, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was basically like, "Don't take away like actual like women's."
Yeah.
There's something about women in STEM. I wish I could remember or like pull it up for this, but I'm trying to just get the general idea of it. Someone else left a response that I responded to and was like, basically like, no, it doesn't matter. Like, women are women and men are men, and like that's like just because a woman does this doesn't mean that they're now not a woman or like whatever.
Hmm.
And he responded was like, okay, that's a good point, but like you didn't have to have that tone about it. Like you sounded a little like B word. And I was like,
How do you know what tone that you had? It's over text.
yeah, I mean, I can send it to you afterwards, and maybe you'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I guess it was." But the thing is, I wasn't in my head thinking of like actually convincing this person specifically, even though I guess I ended up making a point that he agreed with.
Which
My
is rare.
mindset,
That like
yeah,
never happens.
exactly. That's why I mentioned it. But like the point in my mind was not to convince that person, but it was for anyone who might be reading the thread
Mm,
to like see the back and forth and be able to think about it that, in that way. Like I don't go into things thinking about the actual other person because sometimes you talk to someone and you're like,
yeah.
okay, there's no hope for you, but
But
maybe
other
someone
people,
else. Yeah.
yeah, I usually will look in the comments to see, and most of the time, when I am like, oh, like this is my immediate response to this awful argument that this person posted, is I'll look in the comments and somebody else has already made my point, and I'm like, ah,
And they
cool,
made it
I don't
better
have,
than you can make it.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, they already did it,
hmm
so I don't want to. And then so sometimes the only time I will post is if it's like I feel super, super strongly about this. Like someone needs to say something,
Yeah.
even though it's probably never going to get read. But like it needs somebody needs to say something, and no one has already said it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, nobody else has said it, or they've said it really poorly, and I'm like, okay,
Or
someone
not
else
enough
has to do
people have said it and you want more people. That's when I'll do it too, is if I want
it.
a
Yeah.
larger voice of my opinion on there.
Hmm. And then one last thing I wanted to ask about with like we're going back to AI
hmm
is like what do you think about the trend? It's not really a trend, but it's more of like the idea and the opinion of I'm not going to post my child's face on the internet until they're old enough to consent to that.
Yeah, I think we talked about this in one of our last episodes where I think I said that
Yeah.
I don't want my kid on social media at all. Like, I think that's the point where, like, I as an adult, I'll post, like, maybe what me and my husband are up to or what we're doing. Like, I posted when we moved to Georgia, I posted our anniversary, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I will sometimes do that as an update. Like, when I moved, I was like, I feel like people should know that I moved. Even though it's just like a little story.
Hmm.
I feel like once I have kids, I don't think I want people knowing enough about me to like guess where like my kids are at, for
Mm,
example. And there is
like,
like you may not see it, but like the whole like deep fake dark web, like that kind of thing. I don't even want to start to pretend to like engage with that or like let that be a possibility that could happen. Like I worry about my own
yeah,
face. Like am I being deep
I
faked
know.
somewhere? Like I have no idea.
I figure my face is
Um
already out there, so whatever now.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like my child or like, any kids that we're having is like, well, they haven't gotten their faces on social media.
Yeah.
Now, there was a lady I saw who posted pictures of her ultrasound photos and she like starred out the faces of like all of the ultrasound photos and she was
Okay.
like, my child in is I know they're unborn still, but like still their face and it's still their likeness and I don't have their permission
But
to
it's a
post their
naked
face
the
online.
baby is also naked.
So I'm not gonna post their face online. And I'm like, I mean, fair, the baby is, yeah, correct. It's the unborn child is still a baby and still alive, but like it's an ultrasound photo.
Yeah.
Not to be mean, but they kind of all look the same. So
Yeah.
Like you don't like I don't feel like that was super necessary.
Well,
Like
so
no one's
Andrew and
gonna deep
I,
fake your ultrasound.
right, no, that's a little silly. But like Andrew and I
Oh,
don't really want our kids on, like we want to minimize internet access. Like I feel like
yes,
we're in such a weird time
same.
though, where like you almost to be successful in this life, you have to be on. So
I
I don't want
know.
my child to enter the working world like not knowing how to use a keyboard, you know?
Well, yeah,
So there's
but
that.
like wait till like you have a phone, maybe. And like our rule
Yeah.
is that you're not getting a phone until you have your driver's license, which is at
hmm
least 16.
Well,
You
we're
know.
gonna probably do like flip phone. Like that's was my first phone was a stupid little track
Yeah,
phone.
that's what I meant is like smartphone. Like
Like
you can maybe have a flip phone so we keep in touch with you if you're
yeah,
somewhere, but like you're not getting a smartphone until you need it for GPS for driving.
yeah.
Yeah,
So my thought is like if they're not allowed access to the internet, why would we post them on the internet?
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know? So I know like some of my like grandparents in extended family, they like seeing like specifically things on Facebook. So every now and then I'll think about posting something on that for that specific
Mm-hmm.
demographic because those are people who I'm family with, but I don't text like my friends I can text and tell them. People like extended family, that may not be the case, so a Facebook post might be what works. But I
Eric
almost feel
is,
like once I do have kids, I might just get rid of my social media altogether. We'll decide,
hmm,
we'll see how I feel when that actually happens.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's already like a time suck, even if I'm not
Yeah,
on it
you
that
can
much.
scroll for hours and get sucked
Yeah.
in
Oh,
and
yeah. And like there's even things like I think like gaming, like playing video games is a more productive way to spend your time than just scrolling on Instagram consuming content. Because then at least to a certain level, like you're using your brain, whether you're solving puzzles or like strategy or like being creative in some way or another. Like it's not people like look down on it and that's, valid, but like with social media or a movie, you kind of sit there and watch. And at least with a video game, you're like engaging with it. So in my
mhm.
downtime, I'm like, I'm scrolling on Instagram. Why am I not playing like this game that I like to play? So,
Yeah,
and I don't want to like be tempted to have to like spend time away from my children or my family
yeah,
by being on social media.
yeah. I'll
The
probably
only
post way
thing,
less.
yeah, the only thing that I'm struggling with is that thing that I've been talking about where like that's where I like do get a lot of like information, whether it's like carnivore or something else. But
Mm-hmm.
I also lean a lot into like I'm like a big fan of YouTube right now. That's where I
Mm-hmm.
watch like a lot of
YouTube is
content.
really, really
Yeah,
nice.
and I
Yeah.
can get a lot of
I mean,
that
it's
same
still
information
social
there.
media, but it's,
It's
I don't
not
know.
the same kind of social
It's
media
not.
though.
It's not though. You don't,
Yeah.
you don't like scroll. It's
You can
more
get
of,
news there, you can get like
yeah,
entertainment there, you can learn about anything and everything there is to know about anything and everything.
yeah. Like, and it's not really like an inherent design of scrolling either. It's more of like you have to search for what you want.
Yeah. I
So
mean, the
that's
shorts are
nice.
there now, but
Yeah, but
still.
so just don't get, yeah, I just have to tell myself, like, don't get sucked in. Because sometimes I'll like go on YouTube, like, all right, I'm gonna find a workout video. And
hmm
then I'm like, look at this short. And then all of a sudden I'm like 20 minutes in and haven't worked out and I'm looking at shorts. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, that's annoying. But yeah, with the kids stuff, like Eric has told me, like when we have kids, like we're only posting pictures on this like secure like messaging platform, like maybe not even iMessage. And like if you want pictures of the kid, you have to join the group. And I'm like, okay, and like people might not like that very much. And he's like, well, that's too bad for them.
That's too bad. Yeah.
It's like if they want photos, they'll join the group.
Yeah.
I'm like, fair? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree.
There's probably like a million things that we could talk about with
hmm
this, and I think we're going to try to have somebody on at some point to talk more about like how you can stay like safe in this type of like not like safe, but like you know what I mean? Like
Safer.
kind of like be have informed consent when it comes to this kind of stuff, and like live a non-toxic lifestyle from a cybersecurity perspective. So
hmm
we're gonna maybe do that soon. But for this episode, we're
Gonna wrap it
probably
up.
I feel like we've talked a lot about a lot of things. This is me
So,
trying to figure out how to wrap it up.
yeah.
But basically, I'm
Tell us
saying
your
we're
thoughts in the
done.
comments below.
Yeah. Basically, I'm saying we're done talking now. So the
Uh-huh.
episode's over.
This has been another episode of Tidbits of Truth. I'm Samantha White.
And I'm Hope Anderson.
And we will see you in the
In the
next
next
one.
one.
Oh, follow us on Instagram. We have YouTube now that I don't think I've talked about this before. This might be the first time
No.
we've talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a YouTube now. Let me pull
Follow
it
us
up real
there.
quick. Real quick, let me pull it up. It is called Tidbits of Truth. It's kind of hard to find. I've like Googled Tidbits of Truth, and it's
Mm.
like
Well, it's
everything
kind of
except
like
it.
generic, and so it might pull up like not our brand.
Yeah, if you
So,
look at Tidbits of Truth podcast, that's our
mm.
handle or username, whatever they call it on this one. And you can find right now it's all of our shorts that are from our
Instagram.
Instagram, but we're going to be uploading full episodes. I just haven't been able to get to it yet because our original episodes were not video, and so I have to like almost re-edit those and get them in
Mm.
video and not just audio content.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
you
we
can
have
just
some
post it too.
restrictions. Yeah, I could, but then like, you know. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But
That's a
that's what we're
whole
going
nother
to.
thing that we
Yeah.
didn't talk about with social media is like how you use it for your brand for like this kind of stuff. But
Yeah. I mean, we touched
for
on it
instance, I
briefly,
feel
but
like
yeah.
our brand wouldn't be as popular. Like we wouldn't have as many listeners, or we would never have a chance of getting more listeners. I feel like if we didn't post stuff.
Well, yeah,
That's just where
that is the
people
society we
live.
live in. Yeah.
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 So like not we're not saying social media is like the worst thing in the world. You should never have it,
Right.
whatever. But you kind of have to dig into it, figure out exactly what you're
What you
willing to
want from it.
tolerate. Like basically, like I said, informed consent. It's the same thing with your medical stuff. Like you
Yeah.
need to have informed consent about like I know that this is how it works, and I know that the algorithm listens to me, and I know all these things, but I'm still choosing to post in this way and that way for these reasons. And I think that's better than just like not having any of that knowledge at all. Yeah. So
But yep, you can find us on Instagram as well, Tidbits of Truth. And if you can't find the YouTube, if you know us, you could probably DM us or DM us
mm-hmm.
on the Instagram too, and we'll send it to you. But yeah, thanks
Follow
for
us there.
listening. Give us a follow, give us a rating, give us a comment, all this stuff.
Only 5 stars.
5 stars only, please. But yeah, we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.